Yo, One Piece fans, this has been a long time coming, and I'm finally ready to say it. And look, I love this community. I've never been a part of a community that's more active and more welcoming than the One Piece community is. But bro, I fucking hate this community.
Why would you say that?
And it's crazy because just a couple months ago, the community was fine. It's like that early arc vibes when the arc first starts and everybody is just excited. But then we get to the point where every single week, we have to dive back into these same topics that are usually agenda driven. And agenda has always existed in the One Piece community. That's not the issue. The issue is more so that every conversation that we see in the One Piece community now is attached to some agenda. Or it's somebody asking a question so that they can attach it to an agenda later on. And it's gotten so bad, even the fucking Japanese translators is doing it. Why is Sandman AP making agenda posts?
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
And then when the Luffy versus Kizaru fight happened, oh my god. It got to the point where I'm questioning, do y'all niggas even like One Piece? And if you do, what do you even like about it? It feels like One Piece has become like this faction war, and people really only like the faction that they've associated with. So people that have associated themselves with the admirals and shit will literally only shit on pirates all day. They will shit on all the Yonko all day, nothing else. And vice versa, people that are big fans of the Yonko will just shit on admirals all day. And don't even get me started on swordsman fans, cause y'all just something else. And it would be one thing if they were just shitting on them strength-wise. I don't think that matters. But it gets to the point where people are so wrapped up in their agendas that they're actively ignoring characterization from certain characters and interpreting them in the worst way possible just because they don't like the faction that they're a part of. And the most clear-cut example of this is Green Bull. Ever since Green Bull got debuted in the anime, there's been this non-stop conversation about whether or not he's a good character or why so many people hate him. And I think it's all stupid as fuck. And it feels so inconsistent because characters like Doflamingo or Blackbeard can say the most outlandishly evil shit ever and nobody bats an eye. And that's how it's supposed to be, because a villain's role is not to be the most likable nigga on the planet. It's just to introduce a certain perspective that is interesting. Even if that perspective is wrong and evil, it's just got to be interesting. And in my opinion, Green Bull served that purpose perfectly. And I think Green Bull is one of the most interesting admirals that we've seen, because there's so much uncomfortable truth in the ideology that Green Bull talks about. This idea that people get by having someone else to look down on is so interesting to me, and it's so true. Even you sitting here watching this video, you feel okay with your life because you can look at another nigga somewhere else and go, at least my life ain't as bad as him.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
And that's how most normal, everyday people get through their lives. And to bring that up on a macro scale and point out the fact that people are okay with oppression as long as they aren't the people facing the brunt of that oppression makes Green Bull an infinitely more interesting character than a lot of other characters in this story. And I'm really interested to see what Oda does with this character simply because of the perspective that he has. Green Bull reminds me a lot of Hody Jones, but maybe I'll talk about that later. And then you see people giving the most nonsensical reasons for why they don't like him. Dumbass shit like,
the Marines are supposed to be good, so of course I wouldn't like them if they're—
When in the fucking story were you told the Marines were supposed to be good? The Marines are just a faction in One Piece. They have good people in them and they have bad people in them. And Ryokugyu just happens to be one of the bad people. I understand disliking Green Bull, but all of the people ignoring all the interesting aspects of his character just so they can shit on him, pretty lame to me. Like, agenda is funny when it's just jokes and power scaling and shit, but when people are genuinely ignoring the story simply to shit on a certain group just because they don't like them agenda-wise, it just makes discourse around the series a lot less interesting and a lot less fun. And it's so annoying with Green Bull in particular, because Green Bull is one of those characters that I know if he gets a backstory, there's gonna be niggas saying he's the best admiral all of a sudden. And that's all it takes for these niggas. Y'all are fucking bots! And I'm talking about the Marines a lot because a lot of the dumb shit people say in the series has a lot to do with the Marines for some reason. Whenever I see somebody say some stupid shit that just ignores the story completely, 9 times out of 10 they're talking about one of the Marines. And it gets to the point where you start to realize that these people don't understand characters, or they just don't care to understand characters. I don't know which one it is, because they always give the dumbest reasons for why they think somebody's a good character or not. Like choosing to like a character or dislike a character based on whether they have advanced conquerors or not. Are y'all mentally deficient? I swear to God, I wish Oda never introduced advanced conquerors to the series, because the damage that this shit has done to the One Piece community and the discourse around One Piece, it can never be undone. Like the constant arguing of whether or not somebody's using advanced conquerors or not all the time. It's like, who cares? They're gonna use it when they feel like they need to use it. And I think One Piece fans in general have just completely focused in on this advanced conquerors thing that it seems like Oda doesn't care about at all, because people are constantly begging Oda for answers, and he ignores y'all. on purpose, because Haki as a power system was purposely made to be ambiguous. And that's why Oda will never give concrete rules to when somebody's using advanced conquerors or how certain Haki related abilities work. And to be honest, I don't think he needs to, because only on Twitter do people actually care about that shit. The rest of the community does not care. Like, I've never been watching a One Piece reaction video and somebody went, was Luffy using advanced conquerors here? Them niggas don't give a
No, stop. Just calm down.
At the end of the day, I think it's time people accept that Advanced Conquerors was just something Oda made up so Luffy and Zoro could get a power boost. Because outside of Luffy punches harder and Zoro cuts harder, Oda has given zero answers to what the fuck Advanced Conquerors does. And he's not going to. Give it up. And it's gotten to the point where people are waiting for Oda to say something about it in the SBS. But when has the SBS ever been about that? The SBS has always been stupid jokes and little tidbits about the story that Oda isn't going to talk about in the main story. And Oda chooses the question, so he's not going to choose something that he doesn't feel like answering. And you can tell because he purposely avoids power scaling questions. Like, y'all remember when some nigga asked about Law's Devil Fruit Awakening, K-Room and all that, and you know what Oda's response was? He said something like, yeah, it cut people, it hurt them real good, trust me. He does not want to answer none of them questions. And this becomes especially obvious when you see the way that Oda writes fights. Because in every single fight, Oda's going to add in 100 different caveats and different situational things so that you can never have a real objective stance on how strong people are. Which, in a way, makes power scaling more fun in One Piece, but also makes us do some stupid shit to try to appear objective. When there is no real objective answers to these things, because Oda doesn't even have an answer. And all this Advanced Conqueror stuff has just ruined people's mind to the point where people are ignoring entire chapters just to focus on one panel looking at Black Lightning saying, is that Advanced Conquerors? I can't tell. Who cares? Especially right now, we have so many interesting things happening, and literally all the discussion I've seen this week has been about where Ivankov ranks power scaling wise. What the fuck are we even talking about anymore? But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all boys today. Let me know how you feeling about the community in the comments. Like the video if you liked the video. I know you liked the video, because if you didn't like the video, why would you still be watching? Subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, I'm gone.